Forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Oh boy, it is a bit chilly out here tonight. In the Matex Heating and Cooling Weather Garden, we need some of that heating out here. We've had rain. We still have some showers out across portions of Vermilion County. But look at this. The rain has come to an end. It's not raining out in the weather garden here right now, but it is quite chilly. You can see the FUTURETRACK taking all of that precipitation out of here. But the problem we have now, the temperature. That's at 43 in Champaign, but it feels like 38 degrees. 37 in Decatur, 35 in Watsika. So, how's it going to be for the rest of the weekend? We're going to talk about the chilly temperatures. You're heading to those football games both tonight and tomorrow for the ALMANAC game coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
Police were notified that, human remains were starting to show up.
They were found in an abandoned house. The twist is how they were found.
I'm sure it shook Utah, but it hit everybody's hometown.
Elizabeth Smart was kidnapped from her home in Utah. Why she brought her story of survival to Central Illinois.
And he was one of the best to ever play at Memorial Stadium. Why Dick Butkus will always be a part of it.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
It turns out one of the neighbor's dogs found some of the bones and was bringing them home.
Neighbors of a burned, abandoned home in Danville helped police find human remains. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Police were called to the house in the morning and forensics confirmed they were human. They are now looking into the connection between the past fires and the remains. WCIA 3's Andy Olson is live in our control room. Andy, so how were they found in the first place?
Well, neighbors were starting to get worried, Jennifer, when dogs would start bringing home bones that looked human. One called the police later, and their worries were confirmed. 3rd Street in Danville was shaken Thursday when police found human remains in an abandoned house. The house first caught fire in spring, then again in November. It sat abandoned after the first fire and stayed that way until neighborhood pets began bringing home bones. They called police immediately after seeing they were human. A neighbor says it's a disturbing feeling knowing this was right near their homes.
Somebody laid there all this time and nobody has reported that person missing, or none of us realized. I mean, we have a very small area right in here, and there was a dead body laying within, right near our houses. So that part's really kind of nerve-wracking.
That neighbor saw police out at the scene for hours investigating what happened. Police say the case has already been turned over to state police forensics, but neighbors still wonder if the remains have anything to do with the previous fires. Some don't think the house should still be standing.
I don't understand why something like that wasn't torn down already. It's not good for our neighborhood. It's not good for the children. Obviously, it's not good for pets in the neighborhood either to have something that close to home.
We were told by neighbors that the house has been on the market since the first fire. We'll stay in contact with State and Danville Police for more developments in the story as they come. Live in the control room, Andy Olson, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Andy, thank you so much. Now, anyone with information about the remains should contact Danville Police. Decatur Police have new information after a shooting near a school. We told you yesterday about a 26-year-old man who was shot near Stephen Decatur Middle School. Police say that another person was hit. A 24-year-old woman was treated at the hospital for a gunshot wound. They say she was in the car with the other victim when it happened. The man was taken to the hospital as well. The school was put on a soft lockdown because it was so close to the scene. No arrests have been made at this time.
Georgetown is rallying around a 7-year-old tonight as he fights for his life after a car accident. Wyatt Pope was in the car with his dad when they were involved in that accident Wednesday. His father was killed. Wyatt was airlifted to Carl Hospital. Now the hashtag Pray for Wyatt is circulating on social media. People are using it as a way to show his family support.
Things are coming in on Facebook from everywhere. I can't even start to name the places, but his school teachers, Wyatt's school teachers that came up, his classmates. It's heartbreaking and heartwarming at the same time.
The family is continuing to ask for prayers as Wyatt remains on life support. Speeding in one town in DeWitt County is a real problem, and police believe they may have a solution. They bought this speed patrol trailer with the hope it will create awareness and slow down drivers in areas where speeding tends to be the norm. In addition to showing the speed of the car as you approach, the trailer can also track average speeds and traffic counts. New tonight at 6, the Champaign County Coroner's Office is doing something unique to help people who are grieving.
They've brought in a new employee. She's a therapy dog. WCIA 3's Jessica Coons is with us. Jessica, I get why this would be such a good idea. And this is the first in the state?
Yeah, Coroner Dwayne Northrup only knows of one other office in the state with a therapy dog, but given how it's working out, we could see more of this happen in the future. The dog you see there is who Northrup calls Deputy Coroner Harlow. She's his family dog. She went through therapy dog training, and now she comes into the office to provide comfort to people who have experienced loss. Northrup was hesitant about the idea at first. He didn't know if it would work, but he's already seen the benefits.
We had a family member, a mother who was here who lost a child, suddenly and unexpectedly, and I was meeting with her, and I just asked her, I said, would you like me to bring our therapy? I asked her first, I said, do you like dogs? And she said, yes. And I said, would you like me to bring our therapy dog up who's here in the office? And she said, sure. So I brought her up to the front, and the first thing she did is went right up to that woman and put her head in her lap and just sat there and let her pet it. And, she got a smile on her face, and it kind of cheered her up a little bit.
Harlow doesn't just help people who come into the office. She's also a big help for other employees there as well, as they deal with a lot of tough issues every day. As you can see, she's a bit of a hugger, which they love. Now, Northrup also has a 6-month-old dog at home. She's also being trained as a therapy dog. The hope is that she will eventually work in the Mahomet Seymour School District, where Northrup's wife is an administrator. Jennifer?
Well, she looks just like the dog I had growing up, and she was a good one. She will be a comfort to those people.
Very sweet.
Thank you. Elizabeth Smart spoke to teachers and school administrators in Vermilion County today.
Yeah, the kidnapping survivor and child safety advocate shared her story of resilience and hope. WCIA 3's Jen Lask shares Smart's message for everyone in the room.
Elizabeth Smart took teachers through her life, from what she called a sheltered childhood to her abduction and 9 months in captivity when she was 14. Westville counselor and teacher Johnny Hall remembers the headlines well.
I'm sure it shook Utah, but it hit everybody's hometown.
Over an hour and a half, Smart shared not only painful details of rape, sexual, physical, and emotional abuse she endured, but also the way her family's love for her gave her hope in dark times. Hall says as a counselor, she was grateful Smart opened up to the room.
And if we can, just pull them into the light, and we do this by people speaking up and telling their story, then it'll be a good day for our students, a better day for our students.
Smart reminded everyone at both the beginning and the end of her speech that even if they personally haven't experienced something traumatic, as teachers and counselors, they likely know and support students who have.
We need to be, aware that everyone does have that story.
Oakwood Superintendent Larry Maynard says it's a call to support not only the students, but also their teachers and counselors.
We take on the same emotion that our kids do, and that can be a little bit draining, for our adults. So I want to find out ways in which we as administrators and support staff.
That was Jen Lask reporting. If you were curious, we were not allowed to use any of Smart's comments during her speech. Now, after listening to Smart's speech, teachers also gathered in groups for workshops, including one about the idea of compassion fatigue for counselors and teachers dealing with student trauma.
There's a $100,000 lottery winner in Champaign County. Why some charities are also winners tonight.
And also tonight.
Oh, I deserve it. Maybe the kids today will say it.
So, what does this Illini great think about his new statue? How Dick Butkus doesn't pull any punches as it's unveiled.
All right, it's chilly out here, so we need to light the old fire pit up. Let's see what we can do here. Maybe. There we go. Woo! That feels a lot better. It's chilly out here tonight. And boy, look at that sky as we recap the day on the Roofing Skynet Gibson Area Hospital camera. Hey, that's 69. Well, that was deceiving. That came early this morning. That 42 is now our current temperature and our current low. We're talking about when the rain ends, how the Saturday coming up is going to be a cold one along with some really strong winds all coming up.